in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is Game 3 of the NBA Western Conference semifinals. The Denver Nuggets and the Milwaukee Bucks.
The NBA on CBS. Today's playoff game is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. Ryder Truck Rental, the best truck money can rent. And by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere.
Hello, everyone. Tim Ryan with Steve Jones here in Milwaukee. We are just underway in the first period, 10:32 remaining, with the Denver Nuggets, the visitors, leading 6-0 here, and the Bucks in white. David Myers going for the basket and misses. Out come the Denver Nuggets. David Thompson with the ball. The Nuggets in blue, the Bucks in white. The visitors lead it 6-0. Dan Issel. Rebound cleared by Milwaukee. Marcus Johnson. Johnson gets the Bucks on the board. It is 6-2. And Steve Jones, these young Bucks, trying to come back. They trail in this series 2-0. They now have the home court advantage. How much of a psychological disadvantage will the rout they suffered Friday night be in their efforts to get back into the series?
Well, Tim, I don't think it'll be much for them because they're the type of team that has played good, hard, aggressive basketball all season long. They've been beaten by a lot of points in games and come back and played well. They played well here. They've only lost 13 games. You can look for them to come out and play well. Their big problem is going to be to get under control and execute their basketball game. And early in the going so far, they have not done that.
Dan Issel added the basket for the Nuggets. It is 8-2 Denver. And how about the individual matchup? Certainly the most evident thing in the first two games was the work of Dan Issel, who has completely outplayed John Giannelli and Kent Benson in the middle, and they've also had trouble, Milwaukee has, in getting Marcus Johnson and Brian Winters particularly unleashed.
Well, the Milwaukee centers are not supposed to be scorers. Dan Issel must score big for Denver if they're in order to be successful. The guys that Milwaukee really has to get numbers are that guy right there, Brian Winters, who put the ball up and didn't get it down, and Marcus Johnson, and Bobby Jones has done an excellent job of shutting him down inside.
Marcus Johnson had 22 in the second game of the series, but many of those points came after the game was really no longer in doubt. Let's see that play again.
Well, you'll see Issel right here. He's looking on the perimeter. He tries to make a feed inside. They both lose control. David Myers not ready to handle the ball, loses it, and Denver handles it again.
Nuggets won game one, 119-103, and then Friday night here on CBS, 127-111. And the game was, to all intents and purposes, over in the third period after they broke it open in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Giannelli rebounding, and down comes Quinn Buckner. Buckner has room and makes it. 8-4, Denver leads.
They have tried, Tim, to make the transition and move the ball up the court quickly. That time, Buckner made an excellent move to get to the hoop, but they have had problems executing that break and staying under control. They've lost the ball and not got opportunities if Buckner gets another steal.
Steal by Buckner, and an easy layup, and it's 8-6, so Milwaukee comes alive. Buckner well up among the league leaders in the steals department over the regular season. Setting those lineups for you now, Brian Winters and Buckner at guards for Milwaukee. John Giannelli, number 40 at center. David Myers and Marcus Johnson on the forwards. Foul called for the Denver Nuggets. Bobby Wilkerson and David Thompson are the guards. Dan Issel at center with Bobby Jones, number 24, and Anthony Roberts, the rookie, number 21, at the forward positions. It is 8-6, Denver by 2. First period here in Milwaukee. Buckner off the Winters. Winters watched by Wilkerson, gets it away and makes it. We're tied at 8. Bobby Jones for Denver has the Nuggets back on top. 4 points for Bobby Jones. Buckner much more active here in the early going than he was in the first two games of the series.
Well, Tim, you know, he got a good start Friday night, but got himself in foul trouble because, again, they got out of control. Their main concern was getting the ball up the court, trying to take some mismatches, and he wasn't effective. You'll see the ball comes in deep here to Dave Myers. Roberts holds his ground pretty good. Looks like Myers initiated the contact, but Richie Powers calls the other way as Johnson gets it down.
Roberts got the foul as first, and the basket underneath makes it 10-8. The Bucks, of course, have the support of 11,000 fans here in the Milwaukee Arena. They're glad to be home after the rout Friday night. Steal by Brian Winters. Giannelli underneath. 12-10, Milwaukee leads for the first time. Nuggets lead the series 2-0. Best of 7 earlier here on CBS. Philadelphia eliminated the New York Knicks 112-107, sweeping that series. Washington over San Antonio 98-95. Bullets now with a commanding 3-1 lead. Anthony Roberts won't go. Rebound, Giannelli. And this was a department, Steve, that the Nuggets dominated in Game 2, the boards at both ends.
They crushed them on the boards in both games in Denver. Brian Winters gets another big hoop, and they've come to life. I'm sure Larry Brown is going to take a timeout to try and set his team up. They're taking a lot of shots from the perimeter, which are hurting them. They would like to control the tempo of the basketball game to stay as close in the early game as they possibly can as Milwaukee leads.
Trucks.
I'll be seeing you, sweetheart.
Trucks you can count on. And Ryder tunes those trucks razor sharp, ready for anything. When Ryder rental trucks take off on a mission, there can only be one ending.
You nervous, huh, kid? Nah.
Mission accomplished. Ryder, the best truck money can rent.
Light beer from Miller tastes just great, and that's no fish story. But the best thing is, it's less filling. Light's got 1/3 less calories than their regular beer, and that's important when you're trying to land that big one. Like yesterday, I hooked this bass, fought him for over 6 hours. All of a sudden, he jumps clean over the boat. Broke my rod, and I had to tie the... No, wait a minute, fellas. I had to tie the line
Light
off
beer
over
from
the-
Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Left me out there with nothing but a paddle.
Hello, I'm Roger Staubach. Bill pair. Marianne, I'm taking Jeff.
Great.
Let's go, Jeff. One bill we know we're going to reduce is our heating bill, thanks to our year-round one heat pump air conditioner from Carrier. It really will save us money on heat. And it will also give efficient cooling during the summer. Year-round help, just what a bill payer needs.
Call your Carrier dealer. We can't control the weather, but we can help you control its cost.
On Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports continues its coverage of the NBA World Championship playoffs, followed by a doubleheader next Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. That's the NBA World Championship playoffs, Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, and a doubleheader Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
Tim Ryan and Steve Jones here in Milwaukee, where the Bucks have gone on a 12-2 tear, and more of this playoff action will be coming along Friday night and Sunday afternoon here on CBS as we follow it down to the NBA Championship Series. The Bucks came from 8-2 down to 14-10 up, and that's how it stands right now with 6:36 remaining here in the first period. Denver brings it up. They're in blue, the Bucks in white with green and red trim. Bobby Wilkerson on the ball, number 32. Bissell looking for Anthony Roberts, the rookie from Oral Roberts. Over Johnson is short, and Myers has it. Quickly to Buckner. Indiana All-American. Back for Myers underneath Giannelli. Hook won't go. Roberts brings it down for Denver.
Tim, the Milwaukee Bucks would like Denver to shoot outside quickly from the perimeter, because that allows them, if they miss and they get the rebound, that's the first pass of the fast break. They get a chance to get the ball down quickly and set up their offense. They get a chance to get John Giannelli, Marcus Johnson involved closer to the basket than they have been. When they are forced to shoot from the perimeter themselves, they're put in the same position, and Denver gets a chance to run the break.
Myers picks up the Milwaukee foul. David Thompson. Ryan Buckner won't go. An offensive foul called on David Thompson as he just went right over Quinn Buckner.
Well, Thompson down deep right here. Now, Buckner does an excellent job of drawing the foul that time. He gives him an Oscar nomination as he falls back on his back. Actually, I thought the foul occurred out high when Thompson initiated his move on that left side.
It is still 14-10 Milwaukee. Marcus Johnson with a dunk. 6 points for Johnson. 16-10 Milwaukee leads it. 5:38 remaining first period. They are down 2-0 in this series, and if the cliche can apply, it does here today. It's a must-win game. They've got to do it here, Steve, this afternoon. Coming back from 3 down is a little unrealistic.
Well, it hasn't been done yet in the NBA's history. No team has come back from 3 down. It's very difficult to put a lot of pressure because now you're in a 1-game series. We have another foul inside on I think it's on 23.
This one on Wilkerson.
Bobby Wilkerson. Thompson's working right here. Wilkerson comes in. Doesn't look like there's any contact right there. That's a mystery foul.
Ryan Witters. Yes. 18-10, the Bucks.
The difference for Brian Winters in this game as opposed to the last 2 ball games is that he's using the offense to get his shots up. And Friday night's game, he worked real hard, a lot of one-on-one. He's not a good one-on-one player. He needs a pick. He needs a set offense to get his offense rolling, and he scored early here, and that's what they need from him.
He's got 10 straight points for Milwaukee as Denver having difficulty offensively. Jump ball coming up.
Number 44, Dan Issel. For the Bucks, number 22,
It'll be Issel and Marcus Johnson.
It is important for the Denver Nuggets just to maintain contact during this one stretch that the Bucks are beginning to run off points. They have to come in, come down, execute and good baskets and not go too much from the perimeter and too much one-on-one. That will really bury them deep in a hole early in the ball game.
Bo Ellis is in for Anthony Roberts, and Ellis, of course, has got his own fans here in Milwaukee, where he was a star at Marquette, along with the Bucks' Lloyd Walton. Thompson misses. Marcus Johnson going to work in there underneath, and he gets appreciative applause for that effort. It'll be Milwaukee ball.
Well, Thompson takes the ball up from the outside. There's no box. Bobby Jones comes after the ball, and it just comes over his back. That's an automatic call. Anytime you get that contact over the back, the official's whistle is going to blow.
Bobby Jones first personal. Alex English in the game for the Bucks. Underneath to Gianelli. Traveling call on John Gianelli. Bucks still lead by 8.
Controlled him is the key to this basketball game. Both teams must control the tempo of the game, and the Bucks so far have done a better job of controlling themselves and the tempo of the basketball game and getting the shots that they need to score and win.
Wilkerson misses, and Alex English on the rebound. Brian Witters brings it up. Johnson behind Buckner from the baseline. It's 20-10. A 10-point lead for Milwaukee, 8 points. For Marcus Johnson. Bo Ellis. Poked away by Buckner, but Wilkerson recovers. Good pass underneath for Ellis, and he's fouled. It'll be Alex English.
Number 22, Alex English. First personal.
Of course, this is the coach's nightmare, as Milwaukee did an excellent job of defending and forcing the ball out high, and then Bobby Wilkerson did a great job of finding Bo Ellis underneath to get him that ball, and Ellis has a chance to get a couple of free throws. You would like, after playing a team such good defense and keeping out on the perimeter, to make them put the ball up from the outside. Denver did a real good job of finding the open man, and Ellis gets 1 point and possibly 2.
Bucks are in the penalty. On their 15th foul, Ellis makes a pair, 20-12. Portland leading Seattle 16-8 in the first period. Of course, we'll be going out there for occasional reports from that action. Win Buckner. Marcus Johnson over Bobby Jones, and Jones bothered him enough to produce the air ball.
Those are that's the type of defense, and that's the type of offense that Denver would like Milwaukee to have. That time the ball only moved 1 pass. Johnson went a little one-on-one. He wasn't close. Denver has the ball and a chance to score. Milwaukee is going to give Denver plenty of chances to put the ball up, as Issel gets that follow right there.
3:12 to go, and the Nuggets have cut the margin to 6, 20-14 Milwaukee. Buckner working his way in very close, going inside the key when he brings the ball up. Foul called.
Foul on 32.
That's Bobby Wilkerson of Denver picking it up. His second personal foul.
Third team
foul. Don Nelson hasn't got much company over there at the moment, Steve.
We gave him that shot where there's nobody on the left-hand side of him.
He does have his team over there with him, along with his assistant coach, John Killalay. 20-14 as the Denver Nuggets bring it up. Bobby Wilkerson. Bobby Jones. Perfect feed for David Thompson. 20-16. Bucks by 4. Buckner driving and stopped by David Thompson. Traveling call against Thompson. He had that ball down once and then dropped it again.
We see Bobby Jones right here feeding David Thompson. He's showing some of his athletic ability. He really didn't have the handle on the ball. He wanted to dunk that one. He didn't control it, but he just had enough of it to guide it in.
The $4 million man, David Thompson, enjoying his new $800,000 a year contract, makes him the highest paid active athlete in professional sport. The Nuggets have scored 6 in a row. Here's Brian Winters trying to break that, and he does. 22-16 Milwaukee.
Brian Winters is a guy that Coach Larry Brown, I'm certain, would like to see closed down, and those are the types of shots that they need, the Bucks need him to make, and he's working within the offense and getting them pretty easy.
Winters has 8 points. Wilkerson comes back outside to Thompson. 2 minutes remaining, first period. Dan Issel, turnaround jumper, banks good. 22-18, Bucks by 4. Brian Winters down quickly. Winters won't go. Jones on the rebound. Denver quickly the other way, led by Wilkerson. 2 Bucks on him. Issel, nice fake, makes it from the baseline, and Issel, good outside shooter for a big man.
Great outside shooter, and the Milwaukee Bucks on a couple of quick tries down the court have allowed Denver to get back in the basketball game.
8 points for Dan Issel. He has been an outstanding performer in the first 2 games of this series. English misses, Issel rebounds, starts Wilkerson away, 22-20, a minute 10 remaining first quarter. Bobby Jones to Thompson. Thompson around Ginelli and can't do it. Thompson up there rebounding, has the ball, a foul called. And it's going to be on Thompson.
Number 33, David Thompson.
Again, this is nearly an automatic call. The ball goes up. Thompson is inside. He goes over Quinn Buckner on the outside, and they get the ball, bringing it up this way. Lloyd Walton comes back in the game for Milwaukee.
Also number 11, Lloyd Walton for Buckner.
Mac Calvin is in for the Denver Nuggets, and they have played each other a little bit in this series already. Darnell Hillman in the game. Hillman playing with a badly bruised left thigh, a severe Charlie horse, and he was at the airport en route to Milwaukee yesterday using a crutch. He's out there today, ready to play. David Myers for Ginelli. Good move by Ginelli over Issel. 24-20, Milwaukee by 4. 40 seconds remaining first period. Ralph Simpson, number 10, in at guard with Mac Calvin. Hillman at forward for Denver with Bo Ellis, and Issel from the top of the key, 24-22. 10 points for Dan Issel, and he continues to roll. Lloyd Walton, number 11, with White for Milwaukee. In the backcourt with Brian Winters. Myers, Ginelli, Alex English up front. Walton. Lloyd Walton. 26-22 Milwaukee. Richie Powers, along with Walter Rooney, the officials today. It is still Denver ball. Apparently, he wants to re-inbounds it and has asked him to set the clock back to 3 seconds. That's what remains. An official timeout by Powers.
I think Denver wanted or needed. They should have gotten an extra 2 seconds on the clock.
Simpson's shot will not count. And so, at the end of the first period here in Milwaukee, the Bucks, who need to win it, are up by 4, 26-22.
See what's new today.
Introducing the third generation Monte Carlo. The third generation of a highly successful personal luxury car. Its highly original styling opens new dimensions in affordable luxury and in comfort. With more rear seat headroom, legroom, and hip room than last year's Monte Carlo. The third generation Monte Carlo. Drive it and put a little distance between yourself and the crowd.
The new Minolta XG7 35mm reflex camera is automatic, so you can concentrate on the action while the XG7 sets itself. All you do is focus and press the button. The optional auto winder even advances the film for you. With the XG7, you can change lenses fast, too. The Minolta XG7. Try it. you'll fall for it.
What would it cost to replace your car's muffler, including installation?
Oh, I'd say about $50.
No, wait, $45.
It'll be around $30.
I guess about $40.
The aluminized Sears muzzler is only $19.99.
That's half of what I guessed. It's hard to believe. On a Cadillac?
Is that really true?
$19.99.
That's a terrific price with installation included.
That's something.
Should have known it. Sears.
The muzzler, only $19.99 installed. Only at Sears.
Next Saturday, CBS Sports Spectacular presents highlights of the British World Invitational Gymnastics Championship with future Olympians competing. Highlights of the exciting World Freestyle Skiing Challenge and the demanding score off-road Race of Champions. That's next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
For a report on the Portland-Seattle game, let's go now to Brent Musburger and Rick Barry in Seattle.
Portland. Welcome those of you watching Denver-Milwaukee here in Seattle. 2:11 left in the first quarter. Portland with an early lead and Seattle slowly coming back. And of course you know the big story. Bill Walton is not here. Broken bone, left ankle in a cast, out the rest of the season. The players have played confidently and well. Hollins hit and fouled as Freddie Brown jumps out and kicks him. Pleads his case to Earl Strom, but the decision will not be changed. It is 20-16. It's a 4-point Portland lead with just 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Both teams are in the penalty situation, and Corky Calhoun will check in for Jack Ramsey's Blazers with Larry Steele going out. Hollins can make it 5 points. 2 minutes left in the first quarter, 20-16. Make it 21-16 Blazers.
Dave Myers. That's his.
Welcome back to Milwaukee. This is Tim Ryan with Steve Jones. Our score here in the second quarter, 11-12 remaining in the first half. The Bucks by 4, 28-24 over the Denver Nuggets. Calvin and Myers exchanged baskets to begin this second period, and Bo Ellis at the line for Denver. In that first period, Dan Issel led the scorers with 10. Winters and Johnson 8 each for Milwaukee. Giannelli, Buckner with 4 each, Walton with 2. Jones and Thompson had 4 for Denver, Ellis and Roberts with a pair. And it is 28-25.
Tim, with both teams playing well now and both under control, it'll be important to see what kind of contributions each team's benches make. If they can get a good, if Milwaukee gets a good effort out of English and Walton, they will have gotten a plus in games that they have. And English is playing well. Denver looks for Matt Calvin to play, Ralph Simpson, and Bo Ellis to give them big help off the bench.
Simpson picked up the Denver foul. Here's Winters. Walton along the baseline. Myers lost it back to Walton, and Walton makes it. 30-25, and if you're wondering about that play right at the end of the first period, Richie Powers, the referee, said that he interfered with the Denver Nuggets bringing the ball into play and gave them 2 seconds back on the clock. And he said they could not reset the clock, that he had to count 2 additional seconds. You may recall that Simpson made the bank shot after time had expired, so may be a question there as to whether Simpson's basket should have counted, but Richie Powers said he counted 2 and then they gave him 3 on the clock. So that's the story at the end of the first period. It is 30-25, Milwaukee by 5. We have 10:28 remaining here in the first half. Marcus Johnson. Myers chip in, a beauty. 32-25, Myers has 4 points.
That's a great offensive rebound that time by Dave Myers. He went over a couple of backs. He just out-jumped the people. There's no box, and he got it good. But both teams now playing under control. Milwaukee shooting a good percentage. Denver's getting high percentage shots, and they're moving the ball inside. It's a good ball game.
Ralph Simpson connects his first basket of the game, officially. Ellis quickly to Calvin. Anthony Roberts. And foul called on Junior Bridgman.
Foul on number 2. Junior Bridgman.
They make a good steal here, and Matt Calvin wisely gives the ball up. Now, Junior Bridgman can really get up. He takes the ball right up here. Looks like a great block right that time. And Wally Rooney called the other way, and the Milwaukee Bucks take a timeout to have a little soft.
I'm going to show you something from Black & Decker that'll let you trim your grass as easy as this. Black & Decker string trimmer with a self-feeding cutting string. It goes wherever a lawnmower can't, and it trims weeds and grass right down to the nub, fast. The Black & Decker string trimmer. It makes trimming as easy as...
Introducing the Kellys. From Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Kelly Passenger Radial. From Cumberland, Maryland, the Kelly Truck Tire. From Tyler, Texas, the Kelly RV Tire. From Freeport, Illinois, the Kelly Farm Tractor Tire. From Cumberland, Maryland, the low-cost 4-ply tire.
For whatever driving you're doing, the Kellys have a tire for you. The Kellys. What a line.
Tough throughout the line. We're good and tough. We're the Kellys.
This is All-NBA forward Rick Barry of the Golden State Warriors. Rick took part in the annual Hall of Fame game in Springfield, Massachusetts, the city where the game was invented by Dr. James Naismith in 1891. Rick commented on the Hall of Fame.
All the greats are enshrined there. That's the uniform George Mikan wore. Bob Pettit, Bill Russell. See it all at the Basketball Hall of Fame, Springfield, Massachusetts.
40, John Ginelli for Meyer.
With 9:51 remaining here in the first half, looking at the personal foul situation, Myers has 3, Gianelli has 2 for Milwaukee, Wilkerson and Thompson each with 2 for Denver. Anthony Roberts on the line, ready to go here with his foul attempt, and makes the first one. Welcome now to the fans that have just joined us here in Milwaukee. The Bucks are in white, the Nuggets are in blue, and it is 32-29. Milwaukee leading it. They're down 2-0 in this series. Lloyd Walton in the backcourt, number 11 for Milwaukee. To Junior Bridgman. Marcus Johnson at the top of the key. Good pass to Bridgman, can't make it. Rebounded by Anthony Roberts. Ralph Simpson up. Simpson gets his second basket. 32-31. Milwaukee leads by 1. Junior Bridgman. 34-31. Milwaukee with a 3-point lead. 9:15 remaining in the half. Ralph Simpson and Calvin in the backcourt for Denver. Bobby Jones, Dan Issel, Anthony Roberts up front. English, Marcus Johnson, Walton, Gianelli, and Bridgman for Milwaukee. Roberts off the front rim. Bridgman rebounded but lost it to Roberts. Now he throws it away. And it'll be Bridgman
number 2,
getting the foul.
Junior Bridgman picked up his second personal foul. That time he was a little out of control and just couldn't get the handle on the ball. Milwaukee would not like to see him get in foul trouble because he's been a big plus for them coming off the bench all year long, and he's got great offensive ability.
Anthony Roberts brings him to 1, 34-33. This is much like the way the game went in game number 2, except for the quick start by the Bucks today. But they were close at this point in the second quarter in game number 2, Friday night at Denver. Let's look at that play again.
This is what made Marcus Johnson College Player of the Year and one of the number 1 picks of the Milwaukee Bucks. Just a beautiful little clutch move. He took it, he showed it to Bobby Jones, brought it back, carried it in, and he got a 3-point play.
11 points for Marcus Johnson. Dan Issel 5 for 8 from the floor for Denver so far. And he has 10 points. Wilkerson. Issel rebounds. Trying to get underneath Gianelli. Wilkerson keeps it alive and makes it. 37-35.
Well, the thing that's hurting the Milwaukee Bucks now, as you see that score out in Portland, a little bit of a surprise. Bridgman gets that basket is that Denver is getting 2 and 3 shots at the basket on each opportunity, which has allowed them to stay close. Milwaukee's running their offense really very good.
Junior Bridgman gives the Bucks a 4-point lead. Wilkerson the other way. We'll keep you posted on Portland, Seattle. Remember, Bill Walton suffered a broken foot. I'm not sure whether it occurred in the game on Friday night or not, but he is gone for the remainder of the playoffs. This is Lloyd Walton. Wilkerson rebounds. Walton had a lot of room down the lane, but missed the layup.
I think he was a little surprised. He went down and it just parted open for him, and he didn't have enough to finish it.
Thompson Tries the bomb and misses. Here comes Walton. Junior Bridgman calls for it. Bridgman cut off at the baseline. Goes to Walton, far corner, and that won't go. Anthony Roberts rebounds. Bucks by 4. Nelson has Kent Benson up ready to come in from the Milwaukee bench. This is David Thompson. He's fouled. Lloyd Walton gets the foul. We have 6:49 remaining first half with the Milwaukee Bucks holding a 4-point lead, 39-35.
Now try and forget the 10th largest life insurance company in America, Lincoln National Life. We're easy to remember.
See what's new today.
Last spring, 227 specially equipped Chevy Nova police cars were delivered to the Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Department. Now, that's a tall order, but no surprise, because law enforcement agencies in 47 states have made Chevy Nova America's best-selling police compact. Now, a lot of the things the police look for in a new car are the same things you'd look for in a new car. Reliability, performance, and value. Chevy Nova, a wanted car, now more than ever.
Right, hey!
In the Army, if you work hard and do what you're supposed to do, you get rank. If you do it and enjoy it, you get pride. Pride doesn't know class, pride doesn't know color, and it doesn't come easy. You have to earn it, and you can in the Army.
For more information, call 800-431-1976.
Next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 3-on-3 features an exciting matchup with Rick Barry leading Lenny Wilkins and Kent McCord against Pistol Pete Maravich, Billy Cunningham, and LeVar Burton. Be sure and be with us for 3-on-3 next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Well, two very interested observers here in Milwaukee. Daughters of Coach Don Nelson looking on. And right now they've got to be enjoying, as their father must be, a 4-point lead by Milwaukee. David Thompson on the line for Denver. Ooh, I didn't see him miss too many of those, Steve Jones.
He's a pretty good free thrower, and he's been playing excellent offensive basketball, and he's normally under control. And of course, you do let a few of those get away from him. Interesting statistics so far, even though the game is close, Denver has not shot well. They've only shooting 41%, and the Bucks are shooting a hot 61%.
Marcus Johnson over Bobby Jones. 41-36. Bridgman, Buckner, Kent Benson, Alex English, and Junior Bridgman for Milwaukee. 13 points for Marcus Johnson. Bobby Wilkerson. Offensive foul called on Wilkerson. 2 Bucks there to cut him off at the baseline.
Well, Wilkerson makes a real good move by Bridgman here, who has to let him go because he's got 3. Wilkerson sticks that left arm out right at the end, and he knocks the defenders off. Ralph Simpson's going to come in the ball game.
Simpson replaces Wilkerson. Bucks lead by 5. David Thompson, Simpson in the backcourt. Roberts, Darnell Hillman, number 30, M. Spelling, Dan Issel at center. Bobby Jones, number 24, at the other forward spot. Kent Benson, Indiana rookie, struggled this year. Hurt early in the season, hurt again later in the year, and certainly been a disappointment for Milwaukee, but makes a big basket there.
Well, all the Milwaukee players are getting involved in the offense because Milwaukee is running their offense and staying under control. That's the reason that they're shooting such a good percentage, as they get a follow there.
Anthony Roberts. He's a good jumper. You know, of course, everybody knows what a great jumper David Thompson is. It does somewhat overshadow the jumping ability of Anthony Roberts there. He rebounds. Darnell Hillman on the long feed and misses the layup. Jump ball. Hillman and Quinn Buckner.
Well, normally Darnell Hillman would have thrown this down and gone with his nickname, Dr. Dunk. He's got a bad leg, and he doesn't get this one down. And you see Quinn Buckner, who wants it just a little bit worse, and he outfights him for that ball.
You know, I asked Darnell before the game today whether he was surprised that Larry Brown left him in so long Friday night when he was going to drag in that left leg around. He said, yeah, it was a little bit. He said, did you talk to the coach about it? He said, no. Don't talk to the coach about things like that. I think he was happy to stay in there and play, and he's in there again today.
I think he wanted to test that leg and see how much time he could play because they're going to need him to play well later on in the playoff series.
Hillman rebounds on the shot by Grunfeld, number 20, Ernie Grunfeld. Oh, Ellis goes to the basket, and it drops for him, 43-40. The former Marquette star, as we mentioned, no doubt a lot of friends of his watching Bo Ellis, and on the other side, Lloyd Walton, another Marquette player.
We get a chance to see an excellent fast break as Ralph Simpson gives the ball to the late Bo Ellis on the trail right there, and he just glides by Brian Winters and picks up 2. We're back to live action.
4:50 remaining, first half. Quinn Buckner from the free throw line. Jumper is good. 45-40. Bucks by 5.
45-40.
6 points for Quinn Buckner. Simpson watched by Brian Winters. Ellis to Issel. Issel back in for Darnell Hillman. David Thompson spins around. Buckner misses the bank shot. Issel trying to keep it alive. Traveling call.
He got that offensive rebound, but he didn't have control of himself, and he just went to the ground as he traveled. David Thompson has yet to open up in this series. He's not had a real good shooting series. He's scored well, but he's not shot the ball nearly up to his capability.
Alex English, big man in the first game in the losing cause, at 26 points for Milwaukee. Denver ball as the Bucks throw it away. Marcus Johnson getting untracked here has got 13 points. Bobby Jones gave him fits in the first 2 games, but Marcus Johnson off to a good start. Anthony Roberts driving and making a nice little bank shot, 45-42. They are nip and tuck.
Of course, the reason for Marcus Johnson's surge today is he's gotten more opportunities to get involved in the basketball game. Friday night, he just didn't get that many chances, and Quinn Buckner's becoming an outside shooter.
Yes, from the baseline, 47-42. 8 points for Buckner. Don Nelson, Milwaukee coach here early this morning, confident that the home court advantage would bring his team back into this series, and they are playing with a lot more poise and aggressiveness in this third game. Buckner poked it away from Calvin. Simpson keeps it alive. Anthony Roberts, beautiful jumper, 47-44. Nuggets close it to a 3-point margin. 12 points for Roberts.
Anthony Roberts has some offensive ability. He's second in the nation last year in scoring, and he can put the ball in. He's had problems of being inconsistent because he has trouble finding his offense, but he's a good offensive player.
Foul called against Ernie Grunfeld, and Roberts slow to get up. Now he has been bothered. We'll see the action here, Steve.
Well, Tim, you see the ball goes up from the outside. Again, the man on the inside goes up for the ball. It doesn't look like there's any contact on that play, but the man on the inside gets the nod, and Anthony Roberts is down as Rob Travellini, the trainer, comes over to take a look.
Roberts has also, like Darnell Hillman, has a thigh bruise and is wearing a wrap around that left thigh, and that appears to be what he hurt, but he's up and tells Coach Larry Brown out there that I'm okay, leave me in.
Denver.
So Denver takes a timeout. That'll give Roberts a little more time to recover from that injury, and the Bucks continue to lead by 3, 47-44, 3:09 remaining first half.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark plugs by AC.
Hear that, men? You can trust AC spark plugs. And remember AC filters to help protect your engine from dirt and dust. Right, Ben? Ben? Kids!
Drive through dirt and dust. Good filters are a must. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Filters by AC. Plugs and filters by AC.
Sit tight, old-timer. I'll take care of it. Let me tell you something, gang. Any gas will get you where you want to go. But it ought to be in there cleaning your carburetor, too. Now, you want to make sure you're getting the job done? Use STP gas treatment. You pump in a can with every tank load of gas, and it goes to work cleaning like a bandit. Clean that carburetor. Get a hold of this, and do it yourself. Keep the change, partner.
Sir, what's the hurry? Going to rent a car. Oh, well, you don't have to run. Gotta run. Oh, no, if you had an Avis Wizard number, you could walk. Walk. Call toll-free and let our wizard system do the running. Just show a major credit card, license, sign, and get the car.
I don't have to run through airports?
Not with Avis.
I can walk through airports.
We try harder, Avis. Avis, we don't know another way.
I'm walking through airports.
A runaway boy and an escaped leopard share the danger and excitement of their adventure in The Runaways. Tuesday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Number 21, Anthony.
Well, they're nip and tuck out there, too. Portland and Seattle, a 2-point margin for the Portland Trailblazers. That series tied 1 game apiece. Coming into this afternoon's action, Anthony Roberts at the line for Denver. This is the first one. Benson, Buckner, Johnson, Grunfeld, and Witters for Milwaukee. Issel, Calvin, Roberts, who misses the second one, Bo Ellis, and Ralph Simpson.
Denver. The box lineup, number 8, Marcus Johnson.
47-44, Milwaukee. Buckner for Marcus Johnson. Rebound, Anthony Roberts. Simpson brings it down, number 10. Reacquired from Detroit, former Denver Nugget player coming back for the Nuggets. Bo Ellis underneath. Can't get over Benson, comes outside to Simpson. Good pass to Issel, he's bumped.
Foul.
And that'll be on Quinn Buckner.
Quinn Buckner.
Ralph Simpson playing a lot better basketball. You see Bo Ellis goes up here, he gets stuck, and the ball comes out. Simpson looks like he's going to make an offensive move. He goes up and he spots Dan Issel underneath. Issel draws the foul.
He will shoot 2.
They need Ralph Simpson to play with the control and poise that he's demonstrated so far this afternoon. If he plays well, he can look for them to score a lot of points and get a big effort off the bench.
Issel makes the first one. And the second, he had 22 points in game number 2. Selected our MVP that night. It's a 1-point margin now as the Nuggets are right back in it. This has been close all the way. Marcus Johnson lays it up from the left side, 49-46. 15 points for Marcus Johnson. We said as he had 22 in the second game was not a significant 22. These first 15 points have been significant.
They've been very significant because they have kept Milwaukee in the game. They've given them a lot of confidence, and they've come at an important time in the basketball game.
Issel fell short. Johnson rebounded. Here's Brian Witters. Buckner with room from the free throw line. That jumper's good. 51-46. The Bucks open to 5. 10 points for Buckner. He's shooting with confidence today.
3 shots coming from the outside. The perimeter shots he normally doesn't make. He's got them down, and they're playing with a lot of control and poise.
Simpson threw it up on the contact.
Get a lot of noise about this play. Simpson goes down the lane here, and it looks like he doesn't initiate the contract, but Ken Benson stepped in and got him with the knee and the arm, and it definitely was a foul, and he's on the line with the chance of 3 for 2.
Ups in the penalty. Simpson missed the first one. Still a 5-point margin for Milwaukee. Gets the second, and he'll have a third opportunity here to make his 2. Buckner rebounds that one. 51-47. Milwaukee leads. Bounce pass for Brian Witters. 1:27 remaining here in the first half. Welcome to the fans that have just joined us here. We have 1:21 now remaining in the first half. With the score, Milwaukee 51, the Nuggets 47. The Bucks are in white, the Nuggets are in blue. Tim Ryan and Steve Jones here in Milwaukee. And it's been a well-played first half by both teams. David Thompson has only 5 points, and that's a little unusual for the scoring machine. Buckner, he's been a hot hand, but can't make that one. Simpson rebounding. It's Thompson. Thompson keeps it alive, and it's good from Mac Calvin. What a move by Thompson, who just nearly lost the ball out of bounds, but kept it alive for the Nuggets.
Grunfeld, second personal over the limit. Mac Calvin at the line. Returning,
Calvin made the basket, and he'll get a free throw.
Well, just tremendous athletic ability. David Thompson just trying to get control of the ball, spinning, does 360 and spots Matt Calvin coming in, and Calvin still has enough control to get the ball up and get a three-point play, close the score to a one-point lead for the Milwaukee Bucks, 51-50.
$4 million man showing he does other things and put the ball in the basket for you. Kent Benson, he's fouled.
Fouls on number 30.
It'll be Darnell Hillman.
You get a look inside. You'll see Johnson does other things also. He feeds in Marcus. He gets the ball inside to Kent Benson, who looks like he pushes off right there. He tries to throw it down. He doesn't get it, but he's going to get a chance to take a couple of free throws. The important thing to note about the Milwaukee Bucks this afternoon is the way they've run their offense and where they've gotten their shot. The centers today are involved, whereas Friday night they were not. They got only 2 points out of that position. Alex English comes in the game. Brian Winters is getting shots on the offense. Marcus Johnson is involved in the offense, and that's the reason that they have the lead, even though it's a slim one.
Benson makes the first of his free throws. Nuggets not yet in the penalty, and with only a minute to go, probably will not be. Simpson brings it up against the press by the Milwaukee Bucks. Brian Winters on him. Darnell Hillman, and Benson got a piece of that. It'll be Denver ball.
Denver ball.
Bucks 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Denver 8 of 14, and that's similar to Friday night where the Nuggets had many more opportunities, particularly in the first half. The steal, Lloyd Walton from Mac Calvin. Brian Winters, rebound, Johnson way up there. Marcus Johnson, 25 seconds remaining, a 5-point Bucks lead.
Tim, it's just a great offensive basketball game, and so far the Milwaukee Bucks have been able to get down and get their types of shots. The Denver Nuggets have held tough against all of this crowd and all the pressure. They've stuck around the game. They want to keep contact, and anything can happen when you only have a 5-point lead.
3 seconds on the shot clock. Off the front rim, rebound, Johnson. He has been a force. Time expires here in the first half. Marcus Johnson with 17 points, leading the Milwaukee Bucks to a 5-point margin at the half. A well-played half of basketball by both teams, and these Milwaukee Bucks really doing the job.
Well, we get a look here at the clock counting down. You'll see there's 3. The ball goes up. Johnson again on the inside. That man on the inside has a position. He comes over his back. He gets the call. He's going to get a chance to get a couple of more points for Milwaukee with the half closing. You see him right here taking his shots.
Johnson missing, and the crowd is on its feet here at halftime. I think they've created a little added pressure for Marcus all by himself out there. He makes the second one. And so his 18th point of the half makes it Milwaukee 56, the Denver Nuggets 50 at halftime here in Milwaukee.
Je m'appelle Boum Boum Chaffrion.
Je m'appelle Jacques Plante.
Nous sommes tous deux des anciens joueurs de hockey.
Et nous buvons la bière light de Miller.
Oui, nous buvons light parce qu'elle a 1/3 moins de calories que leur bière régulière. Elle est moins rassasiante.
Non, nous la buvons parce qu'elle a un goût magnifique.
Elle est moins rassasiante.
Goût magnifique.
Elle est moins rassasiante.
Goût magnifique.
Sacré bleu.
Imbécile.
You believe this guy?
Tu chavires.
Mais t'es un fou.
Passe la
La bière light de Miller. Tout ce que vous désirez d'une bière, et moins.
See what's new today.
Chevrolet announces a lot more Chevette for a lot less money. New Chevette standard equipment includes a radio, reclining bucket seats, white-wall tires, console, sports steering wheel, a 1.6-liter engine, 18 new standard features in all, plus a wide hatch, carpeting, front disc brakes, rack and pinion steering, and more. The 78 Chevy Chevette. A lot more car for a lot less money.
Gillette Track 2, please. Sold out again. Say, you look like a double-edged man to me. Daring, unafraid.
No, the Gillette Track 2 gives me a more comfortable shave.
Silly me. These other twin blades will fit your Track 2 handle.
Yeah, but they're not Gillette Track 2.
Yeah, but...
Sorry.
To guys who use a twin blade Gillette Track 2, no other blade will do.
Gillette Track 2, please.
John Chapman, a college president torn by a double life.
Who are you?
A man driven by a strange secret dream. Ralph Waite. You think I'm a fraud? Pat Hingle. Susan Onspach.
I hope it hurts!
The Secret Life of John Chapman.
Tuesday at 9:30, 8:30 Central and Mountain.
Tim Ryan and Steve Jones at the Milwaukee Arena, where the Bucks lead 56-50 over Denver here at halftime. For a report from Portland and Seattle, let's go out to Brent Musburger.
A pocket camera for less than $20? Extra can do. The new Kodak Extra 1 camera is the lowest price Kodak pocket camera ever. Just aim and shoot. For clear, sharp pictures. For a few dollars more, you can get those clear, sharp pictures two ways. With a Tele Extra 1 camera. Hey, honey? Without moving a step, it brings you twice as close to your subject. Get more pictures, more places, more often. With new extra cameras. The can-do cameras from Kodak.
The Bell system is coming up with communication systems to solve problems in your industry. Whether you're in trucking, retailing, utilities, or any of these others. If you haven't talked systems with your problem-solving Bell account rep, your company's missing something.
You know what's one of the toughest weeds in your lawn? The dandelion. Because dandelions have roots up to 2 feet long. And if you don't get it all, it just grows back. What you need is Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2. It gets rid of the whole dandelion, root and all, and 40 other weeds too, while it helps thicken your lawn with Turf Builder fertilizer. So take care of your weeds as well as your lawn with Turf Builder Plus 2 from Scott's.
At the conclusion of today's game, in each of our NBA telecasts, we'll be selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game. In conjunction with this award, Chevrolet will present a check for $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of the player's college or university. Any student may be eligible to benefit from these scholarship funds. Today's winner will be announced at the end of the telecast. Steve Jones and I will be voting for the MVP, and should we disagree, our producer Charles Milton III will cast the deciding vote. At halftime here, it is 56-50. The Milwaukee Bucks lead by 6. They trail the series 2-0. The second half is coming up when we return to Milwaukee.
The major difference, Sylvania beats RCA.
Take a look at this.
Sylvania beats Zenith.
And we'd like you to...
Sylvania beats Sony and GE and Sears. That's right. Recently, over 1,000 people saw 6 unidentified 19-inch color pictures side by side. Then they picked the best overall picture, and the clear winner was the Sylvania Superset. So get the picture that beat them all, the Sylvania Superset. Side by side, we beat them all.
Port of Call, Caribbean. The Navy. See your local recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Where are you going, America?
To Malibu.
Malibu! Malibu!
Malibu.
Looks like a large slice of America is going to Malibu. Chevy's new size, quick size, mid-size car that's so right in so many ways for so many people right now, you'd think it had been designed by Mr. John Q. Public himself. It's you, America, a fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet to you.
You're gonna eat it up.
From blazing heat to paralyzing cold, season after season, the JCPenney battery has more power to start your car more dependably than any other car battery you can buy. And it never needs water. In fact, it's so dependable, it's warranted for as long as you own your car. If it ever fails to hold a charge, return it. We'll replace it, free. Only at JCPenney Auto Centers or catalog desks. It's the last battery your car will ever need.
A basketball team is a lot like a family. We got to work together to win the game. On a much larger scale, the same thing is true when a family member suffers a stroke.
It happened yesterday.
It takes the whole family pulling together to help the stroke victim become a useful member of society again. You can count on your American Heart Association to help.
You can use when you leave.
Remember, we're fighting for your life.
An announcement from the American Heart Association in cooperation with the NBA.
The NBA on CBS is sponsored by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. Pepsi-Cola and your local Pepsi-Cola bottler. Have a Pepsi Day. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Well, Marcus Johnson has been the first half story for the Milwaukee Bucks with 18 points, and we'll be starting the second half shortly. Right now, let's join Brent Musburger and Jimmy the Greek.
All right, we welcome Jimmy the Greek into Seattle. A little football off the top. Jack Christensen coming to the Seahawks. Who will he replace on Jack Patera's staff?
Hallway.
And where will Bob Hallway go, Greek?
It looks like he's going to Minnesota.
Back to Minnesota. I imagine both organizations agree about that move. No trouble.
No, not so much. I'm afraid there's going to be a little tampering charged by Seattle.
I don't understand that. They got Jack Patera from Minnesota in the first place. Greek, were you surprised about Roman Gabriel signing with George Allen in Los Angeles?
Yes, I was, until I heard what Allen did. He had Gabriel out at practice on the practice field for 4 days throwing the ball.
How did he throw now? Well,
he must have thrown well or he wouldn't have signed it.
Can Roman throw the ball deep, Jimmy, for the Rams?
He can now all of a sudden. For the last 2 years, he couldn't throw it over 30 yards. But it seems like his shoulder must have healed.
Well, we're talking about Los Angeles. The Lakers bowed out of the playoffs. Hey, Jack Kent Cook spent a ton putting that team together. What's going to happen?
He's going to spend a ton pulling it apart. I'm afraid there's going to be a massive change with the Lakers.
So who are some of the players who might go?
Scott, Hudson, Dantley, and after a year, another new coach.
You know, you can't buy a championship in basketball. I really believe that. How about Rick Barry? My friend won't tell me whether he's coming back to the Warriors. Going to sign that contract with Franklin. What do you know about that, Greg?
He just wants a 3-year contract, that's all.
He can play for 3 more years.
He can play for 30 more.
He's been killing me in racquetball. He's a great athlete. Jimmy, what about the 3-year-old picture in horse racing? It looks like we've got some great animals this year.
Alidar and Affirmed are definitely 2 or 3 lengths better than Believe It and Sensitive Prince. Those are the 4 horses that are the Derby horses and the big 3 this year.
Will it be Alidar or Affirmed?
I'll tell you next Sunday.
What do you mean? You're going to hedge on me?
No. I need Affirmed. Affirmed has 1 more workout at Churchill Downs.
See you next Sunday. Have a nice week, Jimmy. Okay.
26.
Tim Ryan and Steve Jones here in Milwaukee, and Marcus Johnson with 18 points in the first half has been the main man for the Bucks, Steve, but he's had some help.
He's had a lot of help. Everyone has scored for them. They've gotten Brian Winter to score some baskets, even though he hasn't shot well. He has gotten some points, and big plus for them has been Quinn Buckner. He's gotten 10 baskets and, 10 points. That's been a big plus for them.
All right, now Denver, they find themselves trailing here. What do they have to do in the second half?
Well, Denver has done the thing that they wanted to do. They wanted to stay close. They have not shot well, and the big main man for them, David Thompson, has not shot well. He's 1 for 9 and only 5 points. You can look for him to come out and have a big second half. They would like to shut this break off that the Milwaukee Bucks are getting, make them shoot some tougher shots from the perimeter.
It's only a 6-point differential. That's not much in pro basketball, so let's see what happens in the second half here as the Bucks, who really need this one today, take that 6-point lead into this second half at the Milwaukee Arena. And there's a look at what happened in the first half, and you can see that the Milwaukee Bucks shot extremely well and were tough from the line as well, although they had fewer free throw chances than did Denver. And in the rebounds department, they're much more competitive today than they were in the first 2 games. David Myers, the first shot of the second half, off the rim, rebounded by Bobby Jones. For Denver, Wilkerson, Jones, Thompson, Issel, and Anthony Roberts, the first half starters. Here's Roberts. That's rejected. Marcus Johnson, who has been a power. Ryan Witters for Milwaukee hits it, his 10th points, 58-50.
Again, you'll see why Marcus Johnson is so valuable. Roberts posting up deep on Quinn Buckner right there, and Johnson just comes over and knocks it to bat.
And Issel for Anthony Roberts, and that's blocked by Gianelli, who comes down with the ball. Bucks making the transition very well. Witters, but Johnson can't do it. Rebound by David Thompson. number 33.
In the early part of this game, it's important for Denver to get control of their offense and make Milwaukee work a lot harder on their offensive end as Thompson come back and get a basket.
Thompson, just 7 points. Quinn Buckner, quarterbacking the Bucks. Myers, watched by Anthony Roberts. Inside, Giannelli in the lane. That won't drop. Bobby Jones rebounding. Quickly to Anthony Roberts. Bucks by 6, 58 to 52. Top of the key, David Thompson goes straight up and connects. 58 to 54. And do you think they'll be consciously trying to go to David more?
I don't think that they'll be consciously trying to go to him. He's been the big scorer for them all year long, and I'm sure that they want to get him off. You can see the stats there between Bobby Jones and Marcus Johnson, and you'll see that Marcus Johnson has really got involved in the ball game. Bobby Jones is not a big scorer, and he has had problems today.
Marcus Johnson continues the hot hand, and he had his problems in the first 2 games. As we said, even though he had 22 points in game 2, he was not a big factor, and he has to be for the Bucks. He's got 20 points in this one. The rookie from UCLA has carried quite a load all season long. The Bucks considered him their most consistent performer. Timeout on the floor with 9:46 remaining, third quarter. The Milwaukee Bucks 60, the Denver Nuggets 54.
You fly a lot closer to the crops than to the clouds. But when those last acres are dusted, you know it's Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find.
It's time to relax.
America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
Miller stands clear, beer after beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
Not everyone will understand the language spoken by this Chevy Camaro. For those who understand the language, we recommend the car.
Dawn launch, Sea of Japan. The Navy. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Sunday on Dallas, 2 gunmen invade the ranch, and their target is the Ewing women. The drama and passion of Dallas. Sunday at 10, 9 Central the Mountain.
Denver coach Larry Brown, bothered by the flu, hasn't been feeling well the past few days. He said, you know, when you win, you feel a lot better. Right now, I'm sure that flu's bothering him. His club is down. Underneath, intended for David Thompson, knocked away by Buckner. He has the ball back. Quinn Buckner, and can't make that one. Winters on the rebound. He does. 62 to 54.
Well, Tim, as that turns out, that was an excellent pass to Brian Winters underneath. The ball was short, and Winters picked it up and put it in just like he does. They have gotten baskets from the people that they need to get them from. That's the reason that they have the lead. Denver has to get their main men scoring. This will have to get some points along with Roberts and Thompson.
David Myers fouling Anthony Roberts. Unhappy with himself as much as with the call.
An intense guy, Dave Myers, unhappy there. You'll see he comes over, but he does a bad thing by letting Roberts beat him to the spot. You cannot expect not to draw a foul if you let anybody get in front of you down and deep, and Alex English comes in the ball game.
4 fouls on David Myers, and that could be a factor. We'll watch it. Spinning shot by Bobby Wilkerson, 62 to 56. Nuggets just staying right there in contact, as Steve Jones put it. They're 6 back. Long way to go in this game. 8:56, third period.
I'm sure that Larry Brown has told his team, if we can just stay close while Milwaukee is going through this hot shooting period, as they get another basket, we've got an excellent chance to win the game. They just would not like to get out of a 6 to 10 point spread at any point in the game.
Alex English opening it to 8. That's good from Wilkerson, 2 in a row.
As you can see, Bobby Wilkerson gets 2 baskets, but Milwaukee has given Denver an opportunity to shoot the ball.
Buckner trying that baseline jumper, missed it. Giannelli on the rebound, foul called.
Well, Bobby Wilkerson shows you that a big guy can be pretty smooth right here as he comes in, a little finger roll a la Chamberlain, gets it down. We had a foul down at the other end. John Giannelli's going to get a chance to shoot up a couple free throws.
Anthony Roberts picking up his second personal. He'll get a rest, and Bo Ellis comes in. Giannelli on the line.
Giannelli shooting
Bucks
2.
with 2 team fouls. Nuggets with 1 here in the third quarter. 64-58. Milwaukee in front.
John Giannelli and Kent Benson being involved today has a big psychological effect for them. Look at his score out there. Seattle has finally taken control of that game in the third period. They have not been able to get much out of them in the middle in the first 2 games, and today they're involved in the basketball game, and they're getting a bigger effort out of them on the boards and defense.
Wilkerson, Bobby Jones. Bo Ellis. Issel driving on Giannelli. Slipped and is called for traveling.
Well, the big horse got out of control right here. He's galloping by. He just could not hold his ground. He had Giannelli beat, tried to save the ball, but Richie Powers gets a traveling call.
Buckner trying to get it to Giannelli. Comes back to him. Good pass to Johnson. Quinn Buckner.
That's good living right here. Buckner goes up and shows it to everybody, and Marcus Johnson brings it over the top.
The margin is 10. Wilkerson misses, gets his own rebound and banks it, 68-60.
He's gotten the last 3 baskets for him, and that time looked like he wanted to work on his offensive rebounding as he threw it up and got it off the glass.
Giannelli, nice left-handed layup, driving. Chance for the 3-point play.
You see the Bucks have got an opportunity to get everyone involved. Giannelli is moving high out on the court. He gets it here, he shows it. He gets it right up on the glass and got a chance for a 3-point play. John Giannelli has scored early in the basketball game. He scored early in the third period. He's gotten himself involved, and that hurts Denver.
Makes the 3-point play. Bobby Jones picked up his 3rd personal on the foul on Giannelli. David Thompson, checked from behind by Winters, and Issel connects from along the baseline. 71-62 Milwaukee. Marcus Johnson, that's good. What a game he's having. Marcus Johnson, 24 points. Thompson inside, Issel runs into traffic. English pokes it to Winters. 4 Bucks quickly down the floor. Johnson, and that's good. 75-62, the crowd on their feet here in Milwaukee for Marcus Johnson and their Bucks. 6:45 remaining here in the third period. The Milwaukee Bucks 75, the Denver Nuggets 62.
You're feeling good about yourself, the way you should about yourself.
You look good, you feel good, and it shows. You're drinking 1-calorie Diet Pepsi-Cola, the taste that's changing the taste of America.
And you're drinking Diet Pepsi. Yeah, you're drinking Diet Pepsi. And it shows.
DuPont presents the car wax with a watertight guarantee. Rain Dance. It's guaranteed to shine longer, to bead water longer, guaranteed to last longer than the leading car waxes. Or DuPont gives you your money back. Repeat. Rain Dance is guaranteed to shine longer, to bead water longer, to last longer. The Rain Dance guarantee is watertight.
Sears National Automotive Sale. The Sears 48, a maintenance-free battery. A battery loaded with starting power is now on sale. The Sears 48, now only $34.99. You save $10.
Need motor oil? Here's an offer that stacks up pretty good. Save 25% on Sears Best Oil. Spectrum Plus 15W50. By the case or by the quart. At Sears.
On Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports continues its coverage of the NBA World Championship playoffs, followed by a doubleheader next Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. That's the NBA World Championship playoffs, Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, and a doubleheader Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
Well, we don't know where we'll be, but we'll have more of this exciting NBA playoff action for you next Friday night and next Sunday afternoon here on CBS. The Denver Nuggets trying to get back into it. They trail by 13. The biggest lead of the game for the Milwaukee Bucks. They led by 11 earlier. And it's reduced now to 11 again as Bobby Wilkerson hits. 75 to 64.
Bobby Wilkerson has scored 8 points for them in this period. They need baskets from them, but what Denver needs more importantly is just to stay close, execute, and not let them have opportunities like that one right there. John Gianelli again got involved in a basketball game.
David Thompson picking up the foul here. No, it's Issel. Issel gets a foul.
Alex English has the ball right here, and Gianelli breaks free of Issel. Thompson goes up, gets the block. Looked like an excellent block right there. Might have called Issel for a push down below.
Foul called on Issel. You can see it on the replay as he got a piece of Gianelli going for the basket.
It's 6:14 left in this basketball period, and there's a lot of time for the Denver Nuggets to get back in the basketball game. We have talked a lot about the Milwaukee Bucks. They have played an excellent basketball game thus far. Denver has been able to stay close, and they haven't had a big offensive effort yet from David Thompson.
And Issel has 2 fouls so far. 76 to 64. Milwaukee, they are in white. He just joined us. Denver in blue. With the ball, Bobby Jones. Issel, Jones, Ellis, Thompson, Wilkerson. The lineup, and Wilkerson throws one in from along the baseline.
Indiana guys, Buckner and Wilkerson, both not noted for shooting from the perimeter, and they're both busting it pretty good this afternoon.
Buckner brings it up. He has been a big factor here for the Milwaukee Bucks. Brian Winters behind Gianelli and can't do it. Rebound, Bo Ellis. Former Marquette star here in Milwaukee feeds Wilkerson. David Thompson off the back rim. Gianelli up there, but Ellis comes down to Issel. Thompson underneath. Tip in Ellis. Bo Ellis, 76 to 68. Buckner quickly the other way. Off the front rim. Loose ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Milwaukee ball.
Sure that Don Nelson likes to see Quinn Buckner have a good afternoon, but he would like to take those shots with a little bit more movement of the ball in the offense. That time he came down and went one-on-one and missed a shot. Unfortunately, get it back as Darnell Hillman comes in and replaces a silent Bobby Jones this afternoon.
Alex English in the game for Milwaukee will inbounds it. David Myers. English hooks it over Bo Ellis. Good basket. 78-68. The Bucks lead again by 10 with 5:05 to go. Welcome to the fans that have just joined us here in Milwaukee. You are watching Bobby Wilkerson miss and Dan Issel follow. Ball is poked loose. And it will be Bucks ball. They lead this game 78 to 68. The Bucks in white. The Nuggets in blue. Tim Ryan and Steve Jones here in Milwaukee. We have had a whale of a ball game. 4:45 remaining third period at 10-point Milwaukee margin. Buckner. And Buckner has been a big man for the Bucks.
Again, it is important that the Denver Nuggets just maintain some type of contact. The Milwaukee Bucks are having excellent execution, and they're going with the momentum. They're really fired up by the crowd. John Gianelli is every place this afternoon. He gets another block.
Gianelli blocking Bo Ellis. And we've got 4:21 remaining here in the third period. The Milwaukee Bucks 80, the Denver Nuggets 68. It'll be Myers coming to the line, and David Thompson has the Denver foul. 3 for him. Fourth team foul for Denver in this third period.
Denver does not want to get into the penalty because the Bucks are having it so good offensively right now. They don't want to give them anything cheap. The Bucks are just scoring good baskets, working their offense well. They would hate to get them on the line and add to that.
Myers makes a pair on the backcourt foul, and it is 82-68. Wilkerson driving around. Issel had nowhere to go. Hillman to Issel. Good pass. Issel bulls his way in but can't make it. And he's called for traveling. Milwaukee ball.
Well, you see the ball comes inside right here. They make an excellent feed, but Issel's not really ready to handle the ball. And he tried to get it up to the other side so he wouldn't get it blocked, and he did a little hippity hop, and the Milwaukee Bucks have the ball.
Buckner to English, watched by Ellis. Myers, turned back by Hillman, inside English. Pretty layup, good pass from Myers, 84-68. The Bucks playing on fire and with confidence. Thompson driving, that won't go. Rebound, Junior Bridgman. Bridgman, Gianelli, Buckner, English, and Myers for Milwaukee.
A very big third period for the Milwaukee Bucks, and they've gotten everybody playing in the basketball. And players' offense seems to key their defense. Alex English getting baskets inside, has played pretty good defense. Gianelli getting baskets. Here's a guy that's always intense, and he puts one up from the outside.
Myers puts it up, a foul call. Anthony Roberts. Denver in the penalty situation as Simpson comes in for Wilkerson for Denver. Myers will be on the line. David Thompson with only 9 points in this game. We have 3:14 remaining. Third period. Myers with that jump shot style from the free throw line misses the first one.
Tim, with the exception of Thompson's first 2 baskets at the beginning of this period, every shot that he has taken has been a very difficult shot under a lot of pressure. Normally he makes those shots, but today it's been a tough afternoon for him.
3 shots to make 2, Myers with the third. 86-68. Ralph Simpson signals the Larry Brown play. Darnell Hillman in with Issel, Thompson, Simpson, and Anthony Roberts for Denver. Darnell Hillman. Hillman makes it. 86-70. Bucks by 16 big ones. Trying to reverse the humiliation they suffered in Game 2 at Denver. They're enjoying a 16-point lead.
In the war against grass and weeds, the bigger the lawn, the bigger the battle. To win, you need a Weed Eater brand gasoline trimmer. Weed Eater gas trimmers use nylon line to mow, trim, and edge where mowers and electric trimmers can't, quickly and safely. To fight your grass and weeds, get a Weed Eater brand trimmer, the ultimate weapon for people with better things to do than their lawn. Call this toll-free number for your nearest Weed Eater dealer.
A poem about deodorants. Roll, roll the roll-on, all sticky and wet. Or spray your underarm. What a fog you'll get. So give me the stick, Old Spice deodorant stick. It goes right to the spot. All wet or foggy, it's not. It guards against odor the whole day long. With Old Spice freshness, you cannot go wrong. So goodbye roll-on, so long spray. Old Spice stick, it's the only way.
Old Spice stick.
100 miles from nowhere, you prospect for black gold, punching holes in the seafloor, knowing that more often than not you'll come up empty. But you take the gamble anyway and give it everything you've got. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for shore and the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
Next Saturday, CBS Sports Spectacular presents highlights of the British World Invitational Gymnastics Championship with future Olympians competing. Highlights of the exciting World Freestyle Skiing Challenge and the demanding score off-road Race of Champions. That's next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
For a report on the Portland-Seattle game, now let's go to Brent Musburger and Rick Barry out in Seattle.
Welcome now. Those of you who have been watching Milwaukee-Denver, 64-51. Seattle has taken command in the third quarter, but Gus Williams, their floor leader, has just left because of 5 personal fouls. Fouls so critical in this game with Dave Twardzik at the line. And Rick Barry, you sense that this is the moment of crisis now for Jack Ramsey and the Blazers in this game with the series tied at a win apiece.
No question about it. Portland got off to a good start with an early lead, then they flattened out a little bit. They were close at halftime, trailing by only 1. Now they've cut the lead back to 12. Seattle in the penalty situation, only 1 foul on the Blazers, 3:57 to go. They got to try and cut it back 4, 6 points, keep within touch so that they have a chance to try and pull this one out. If they lose it, they've got their problems.
Johnson, Silas, Webster, John Johnson, and Freddie Brown. Brown 32 with Hollins on him. Here's the 7-1 center Marvin Webster. Owens replacing the injured Walton. And as he came into Owens, there was a whistle and a foul. That's number 4 on Tom Owens. And Jack Ramsey's Blazers are getting into foul trouble, something he had to avoid here. Lloyd Neal sitting on Ramsey's bench, stretched knee ligaments. He's not at 100%. Traveling on the turnover. It'll go to the Blazers, who are down by 11 with 3:32 to go in the third. The foul situation again for Portland. Owens with 4, Twardzik with 4, Hollins with 3, and Lucas with 3, and Maurice has played a long time with 3. But for the Sonics, Williams with 5, Sikma with 4, Dennis Johnson and Fred Brown 3 apiece. Lucas, Hollins, Owens, Calhoun, and Twardzik on the attack. Hollins jump shot. Whittling away. The champions try to come back.
It's only 12 points so far in this half for Portland. They've got to try and stop the Sonics and score a few more points themselves if they hope to get back in this ball game and win.
Twardzik is there on Dennis. Oh, Lucas came over to help out and blocked the shot. Good defensive help by Maurice. Hollins maneuvers, and on the turnover, it's Freddie Brown. Twardzik back. Johnson 2-on-1, and Twardzik fouled him, and Twardzik does not like the call. That is 5 on Twardzik.
Twardzik not happy with that call. That is the 3rd team foul. His 5th personal foul.
90-72, I am just told. Milwaukee leading Denver after having lost the first 2 games of that series. So the Young Bucks scrambling back in game 3. The New York Knicks eliminated today by Philadelphia. Washington took a commanding 3-1 lead over San Antonio. This series even at a game apiece with it a 10-point difference right now. The Sonics ahead of the Blazers and 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third. Twardzik came down. It was like the Red Sea parting as it opened up. It'll go to the Sonics.
Portland has gotten inside 4 different occasions that I can remember, Brent, where they had the inside opportunity and they have failed to put it down, and it has really cost them.
Davis soon to check back in, Rick. John Johnson travels, hesitated, moved the foot, and on the turnover, it'll go to Portland.
So now the Sonics being played a little bit by the turnovers. They had a chance to try and perhaps put this game out of reach, blow it open a little bit, so Portland gets a break. They, in turn, were making mistakes earlier, and the Sonics were capitalizing on it. Now Seattle's returning the favor.
Left side attack. Owens comes across the lane. Calhoun went for the screen. Owens will take it himself.
And they might have been able to call walking on that play right there, Brad. Looked like Owens shuffled his feet, but the official's eyes were up a little bit higher, and I don't think he really saw it.
That field goal reduces the lead to 8 points. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Webster directing it through Silas on the right, takes it back. Dennis Johnson trying to run on Lionel Hollins, making work at the defensive end and slowing down offensively. Dennis Johnson up with the shot outside. That's 12 points for DJ.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. Lionel was all over him. Again, not many assists in this game. A lot of one-on-one situations.
Lucas. It's 8 again.
1:29 to go in the third. 67-59. Seattle leads Portland.
Welcome back to Milwaukee. This is Tim Ryan with Steve Jones. At the end of 3 quarters, the Milwaukee Bucks lead by 20, 96-76. A complete reversal from game number 2.
Brand new Chevy in your life. It's a giant Chevy sell-a-thon.
Don't miss Chevrolet's 72-hour sell-a-thon with all those good Chevy values like Monte Carlo, Malibu, Caprice, Monza, tough Chevy trucks. It's 3 days only, April 26th, 27th, 28th, at participating Chevrolet dealers from coast to coast. So come on in during the giant Chevy 72-hour sell-a-thon. Sun up to sundown, April 26th through the 28th. Put a brand new Chevy in your life.
The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. Share all the glamour and excitement of the Miss USA Beauty Pageant with Helen O'Connell, Bob Barker, and Jack Jones, Saturday night on CBS.
Just underway here in the 4th quarter. Darnell Hillman for Denver off the front rim. Bridgman rebounds and then was tripped up, controlling to Kent Benson. 28 points for Marcus Johnson has been the story of the game so far. He had 10 in the 3rd quarter alone. And Alex English hits for Milwaukee. It is 98-76. David Thompson, meanwhile, has only 11 points.
Thompson has struggled from the field. He's only 4 for 17. Again, most of his shots this afternoon have been very difficult ones. He's been under a lot of pressure. The Milwaukee Bucks have done a good job defensively against him. The big difference in the game, I thought it would be the benches, but Denver's bench has given him 23 points opposed to 25 by the Milwaukee Bucks bench. The starters have not played well for the Denver Nuggets, and that's been the big difference as Milwaukee continues to shoot high.
Foul. Number 32, Bobby Wilkerson. That's number 4.
Wilkerson picks up his 4th foul for the Denver Nuggets. Bridgman, Walton, Johnson, and that is Alex English. Offensive foul charged against English. Benson is in at center for Milwaukee. Kent Benson, number 54.
Well, you see, the reason that this play is even made possible is there's no pressure on the passer, and Junior Bridgman, he has a lot of time to spot Alex English, even though English pushes off.
Matt Calvin misses from outside. It's rebounded by Johnson. He has been a large presence this afternoon. Junior Bridgman from the corner, 100-78. 10 points for Bridgman. Driving is Bobby Jones and dunks it.
The Denver Nuggets just have to try now to bear up defensively and start making the Milwaukee Bucks go out of their offense. Everybody's playing very loose and with a lot of poise and control. They're getting almost every shot, any shot they want. Denver has to somehow make them work for a shot offensively.
Junior Bridgman's basket makes it 102-80. Foul called here against Milwaukee's Junior Bridgman.
Number 4 on Bridgman.
Robert Smith into the game at guard, replacing Matt Calvin for Denver. Smith's first appearance.
At the line.
Wilkerson.
For Denver. 2 shots.
We'll have 2 shots for Denver. This game, just a complete turnaround as Don Nelson, who looked pretty much the same the other night in that position, but obviously inside he's got to feel a lot better about this one. It's just a total reversal of the second game Friday night.
But Don Nelson has always been a very low-key guy, and I'm sure when he came over at 11 o'clock this morning, he was just trying to figure out a way to make his team play better.
They came out with a lot of poise and confidence, as though that game hadn't been played at all, and that they weren't down 2-0. And it's paid off. Bridgman, who's had a hot hand here early in the 4th quarter, hits again. 6 points. Well, make it 14 points, pardon me, looking at his foul count. He has 4 personals. Thompson way up to pick that off. Looking for the open man goes to Wilkerson. Wilkerson hits. 104-82.
Well, they're getting offense from Bobby Wilkerson, but he's not the guy that they really need to score this afternoon. They need to get Thompson and Issel back involved in the ball game.
Ernie Grunfeld, Lloyd Walton. Walton's jumper banks off the rim. 4 Nuggets on the rebound. It finally comes down to Thompson. Robert Smith, number 5. Jones tried to go inside. Issel, Kent Benson with a hand on it.
For the Bucks, number 32, Brian Withers.
Timeout on the floor with 9:16 remaining regulation time. The Bucks with a commanding 104-82 lead.
Call that art.
You call those clothes?
Excuse me, sir. You'd look better in Hager slacks. Or a Hager sport coat and slacks. Even a Hager vested suit. All of today's Dacron polyester from Klopman at prices that won't put you on the canvas.
So I don't know much about art,
But I know what I like.
Hager, because looking good makes you feel good.
I have these etchings at home that
If you wanted to protect the things you...
Next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 3-on-3 features an exciting matchup with Rick Barry leading Lenny Wilkins and Kent McCord against Pistol Pete Maravich, Billy Cunningham, and LeVar Burton. Be sure and be with us for 3-on-3 next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Well, it'll be fun to watch Rick Barry, one of our present announcers, and a former announcer, Billy Cunningham, on 3-on-3 next week. A lot of fun today. Little David Steinberg to chuck him up pretty good. Wilkerson shot is followed by Issel, and the Nuggets get to 84. They trail still by 20. Walton. Marcus Johnson. Johnson watched by Jones. Banks it. 106-84, and he can do no wrong.
Well, his confidence has soared. He was 13 of 17 before that shot went up. He has just been able to do anything he wanted offensively this afternoon.
30 points for Marcus Johnson. Thompson, Issel, Jones, good pass play. 106-86, 8 points for Bobby Jones.
The Nuggets must have some defense. It seems like an obvious statement as they score again, but if they cannot trade baskets and expect to get back in the game, the Bucks have been shooting too hot and all the shots have been too easy.
Lloyd Walton driving on Issel made the last one. Thompson is fouled. Takes his shot. Ernie Grunfeld, number 20, the guilty party. Gianelli comes in for Kent Benson. The margin stands at 20, 108-88. David Thompson at the line.
Number 31, Bo Ellis for Joe.
13 points for David Thompson. Makes it 14. Walton, Johnson, Gianelli, Witters, and Grunfeld. The Milwaukee lineup. Issel, Smith, Ellis, Thompson, Wilkerson for Denver. Thompson rebounding. Bo Ellis poked away by Brian Witters. And it will be Milwaukee ball as Ellis evidently got a hand back on it.
This is a real tough call by Richie Powers. Thompson makes a great pass here off the break. He spots Ellis. Ellis comes in. Now watch the ball get poked away. Bounces off him. It was a good call.
Walton, Witters, jumper good. 110-89, 14 points for Brian Witters. Seattle in front of Portland, 71-62 in the third quarter. David Thompson over Grunfeld. It's good. 110-91, 16 points for Thompson. Walton, good pass. Grunfeld alone underneath.
They got that play because they tried to double up on Walton out high, and they got that pass down in deep. The Nuggets just have not been able to apply any kind of defensive pressure.
Johnson rebounding. Walton to Witters. There were 3 Nuggets around him, but when he went up, he was all alone.
Oh, you'll see he gets a good pass right here. Now he comes in, he makes a good move toward the middle. Everybody just kind of waves. That's a tough off-balance shot, but he gets it down.
Witters comes down with it. Witters again underneath, and that's good. And Brian Witters gets it on. 18 points, and that brings the Milwaukee crowd to its feet once again as timeout is called. And we have 6:34 remaining in regulation time. The Milwaukee Bucks dominating 116-91.
Life
Life is for living, and Visa is there.
Tokyo, Paris, Oklahoma, the coast of Monaco, San Francisco, Barcelona, Mexico, Alaska, New Orleans, the blue Montego Bay, Scotland, Ireland, New York, London, across the USA, Lisbon, Boston, Venezuela, Hong Kong to Canada.
Visa is the most widely recognized card in the world. Visa, we're keeping up with you.
You're watching television.
We're watching Selectavision, the 4-hour video cassette recorder from RCA.
Selectavision gives us the best of television. We've recorded the best action,
the best movies,
even the best educational shows. Sometimes there's nothing good for them on television.
But there's always something good on Selectavision.
Let RCA turn your television into Selectavision.
New tires for your car are on their way to Sears Tire and Auto Centers. A big national truckload offer on Sears Guardsman steel belted radials for your car. Our lowest prices ever, as low as $35.25. And there's truckload values on Guardsman 4-ply, too. Everyday low prices start at $18.88 for new tires for your car.
Truck on down, Sears.
John Chapman, a college president torn by a double life.
Who are you?
A man driven by a strange secret dream. Ralph Waite. You think I'm a fraud? Pat Hingle. Susan Onspach.
I hope it hurts.
The Secret Life of John Chapman.
Tuesday at 9:30, 8:30 Central and Mountain.
Be sure and stay tuned for the MVP award at the conclusion of our game. Right now, let's go out to Portland and Seattle. Brent Musburger and Rick Barry in Seattle.
Welcome, those of you who've been watching Milwaukee-Denver. Here in Seattle, the Supersonics have eased into a commanding position with 8 minutes and 4 seconds left, and this series all even at a game apiece. And so, talent beginning to show. The absence of Bill Walton. We always talk about Walton. How about the other fellow sitting over there on the bench? Bobby Gross.
No question about it, Brent. I had voted for him as the third player for the most valuable player in the playoffs last year. He's a very, very fine basketball player in all departments, and they miss him dearly.
But in fairness to Seattle, as Torczyk pops one up for Portland, even if Walton and Gross were healthy, I think this would be a tough series. The Supersonics have really come alive under Lenny Wilkins.
It's really a shame that Bill and the rest of the players aren't, because this could have been even better basketball and better competition than what we've been seeing so far.
John Johnson went inside to Freddie Brown. Brown just can't wait to shoot it right now, the last 2.5 minutes. Dunn goes to Maurice Lucas. 7:22. Time in Seattle's favor. Lucas battling back to save it. Went out of bounds.
So again, that outside touch of Maurice suffering with the injury to his wrist.
Lenny Wilkins red hot here in Seattle. They are 27-3 in the Seattle Center Coliseum since Wilkins left his job as the director of player personnel and became the coach.
14 straight they've won so far in this building.
He has not yet publicly said whether he will be back next year to coach. That's a very interesting story. When he told Sam Schulman that he would take over, he said, but under one consideration, I could have my old job back at the end of the year. It's too early now for Lenny to talk about it. Those who are closest to him tell me they think he'll be back next season as Dunn reaches in on John Johnson and commits the foul.
There's the play here, try to get the ball in. Dunn in his anxiety to try to knock it away, goes over the man's back, picks up his first personal foul, third team foul.
Screen Webster, but he didn't. Webster was rolling to the hoop strong, but he didn't need to as Johnson hit it.
And Johnny Johnson has found the range here in the second half.
Lucas, Webster is there, and Silas. And Paul Silas has contributed some mighty minutes. He's back on the attack, and he had a hand, and he pulls it down. Silas hustling from one end to the other. The crowd on its feet in Seattle. They can now sense the kill. 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go. 81-68, Sonics lead it.
Back here in Milwaukee, 5:02 remaining in regulation time. The Bucks 118, the Nuggets 98. Tim Ryan. and Steve Jones here. And we had a little minor fracas, I guess you could describe it, Steve. I think Anthony Roberts saying, hey, I didn't mean to hit him, and apparently a punching foul called against Anthony Roberts. Myers on the line.
Well, they were on the free throw line, and they both went up for the ball, and Roberts was in a position where Myers came over his back, and he pushed him off. It looked like he threw an elbow or threw his arm, and Anthony Roberts got thrown out of the game. But he doesn't look like he wants to leave as he stands, and he's going to have another look at Richie Powers.
Anthony Roberts had 14 points today. Issel and Thompson with 16, Wilkerson with 14. He's up among their leading scorers, but they have not been able to get it all together today. His presence will be missed nonetheless with 5:02 to go. Witters will inbounds it. Marcus Johnson. That's good. 32 points for Marcus Johnson. 120-98.
Denver ball.
Marcus Johnson has led this offensive surge today. We were wondering early in the game if they were going to be able to come back and play, and it just shows you what type of team the Bucks have.
Myers rebounding, Lloyd Walton back. Walton, Winters, Gianelli, Myers, and Johnson for Milwaukee. Foul called. Bobby Wilkerson picks up the Denver foul. Wilkerson, Simpson, Robert Smith, Tom Lagarde, number 45, and at center with Bo Ellis, number 31.
That was one of those fouls right there where you didn't see the first contact. David Myers initiated the contact, and Bobby Wilkerson was caught pushing back as the whistle has blown pretty frequently down here in this ball game. Denver's going to get a chance to shoot the ball.
Five fouls on Wilkerson as Robert Smith lets fly and hits from the top of the key, 120-100. Bucks with a big 20-point lead. Driving Lloyd Walton, and Robert Smith goes sailing past the referee Richie Powers. And Smith will get the foul.
Oh, right there, Robert Smith trying to pick over the top. He's trying to stay with Walton right here. Now you'll see Richie Powers gets bumped right there. They get the 20-point lead, and Walton's going to get a chance to handle a ball for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lloyd Walton will be on the line following the foul by Robert Smith. Walton makes the first. 121-100. The Bucks, who needed the victory here today, looks like they're going to get it. It will cut the margin 2 games to 1. English rebounds and makes it. Kind of a day it's been for Milwaukee. 23-point lead. Wilkerson has been shooting well from outside. 16 points for him.
Tim, it's been one of those days where Milwaukee got off early, they executed well, and they continue to play well, and this guy right here has done everything that they've asked him to do today.
Welcome to the fans that have just joined us here in Milwaukee. The Bucks in white, the Nuggets in blue. It has been Marcus Johnson Day at the Milwaukee Arena. 34 points. And he has been a presence at both ends of the court. That's number 35. Let's look at the one he just made that led to that foul.
Right there, no pressure on him. He just waltzes by, and Bo Ellis does the wrong thing as he's cleanly by and he tries to reach in.
Tom Lagarde gets it in for Denver. 126-104. We've got 3:30 remaining here in regulation time. Welcome to the fans that have just joined us here in Milwaukee. The Bucks in white, the Nuggets in blue. It has been Marcus Johnson Day at the Milwaukee Arena. 34 points, and he has been a presence at both ends of the court. That's number 35. Let's look at the one he just made that led to that foul.
Right there, no pressure on him. He just waltzes by, and Bo Ellis does the wrong thing as he's cleanly by and he tries to reach in.
Tom Lagarde gets it in for Denver. 126-104. We've got 3:30 remaining here in regulation time. Alex English over Wilkerson. 128 to 104 with 3:20 to go. This is Wilkerson. Offensive foul, and Wilkerson will be finished for the game. That's his 6th. Bobby Wilkerson.
Wilkerson picks up the 6th foul right. He goes to the basket. You can see the left arm comes out as he tries to shield Johnson off. Picks up the 6th foul, and the Milwaukee Bucks, they make wholesale changes. Junior Bridges back in the game along with Grunfeld, Benson, Alex English, and Lloyd Walton.
Wilkerson leads with 16 points. One of the good performances by Denver today, and underneath is Walton from Grunfeld.
It's been too easy. Everybody's popped open. Everybody's got some of this cake today. Denver Nuggets will have to regroup on Tuesday.
Now Simpson trying. The guard rebounds. Benson and English combine to stop him.
Basket by Lagarde.
The guard goes up and makes a real strong rebound this time. It's a good effort by him, and he goes up, he takes Benson off his feet right there, and then English comes over and knocks the ball away.
Grunfeld will have a chance for the three-point play. 132-106.
They living in that little orange or red area here. That's called the lane, and they've gotten all kinds of shots down and deep. Grunfeld got one. Walton got one before that. Everything has been too close in and too easy.
Lagarde turned back by Benson.
Hold it up, two white. I'll let Junior Bridgman.
Called on Junior Bridgman. He has 5.
Team foul.
Simpson will inbounds it. Simpson, Smith, Calvin, Ellis, Lagarde. That's Larry Brown. Has the starters out of there. He's pretty much conceded this one. They lead in the series. 2 games to none coming into this tilt this afternoon. So they're still in command.
Well, this crowd is very vocal. They want all they can get. They're trying to make up for Friday night's defeat. They want a real big win here this afternoon.
A complete turnaround. I don't think anybody expected to see games with these big margins in this series. Bridgman dunks it. Crowd loves that. They're on their feet again. 135 to 106. 16 points for Junior Bridgman.
The reason for the big margin, the victory, is that both teams were able to break the game open early and get control. We'll get another look at the dunk by Junior Bridgman as Grunfeld makes an excellent feed out, and Junior Bridgman gets up well. He just takes it right over little Robert Smith and takes it downtown.
Well, they had to watch a couple of those by David Thompson Friday night. I'm sure the crowd here would like to see a few more hometown dunks today. Ellis rebounds for Denver.
I'm sure that Larry Brown is hoping that the Milwaukee Bucks get all of their hot offense out of the way and they don't have too much left for Tuesday night.
Grunfeld working the fast break. Good pass. Walton to Bridgman. 137-106.
The Milwaukee Bucks have a big lead, but Seattle is giving a tough going to Portland out there. They had 91-72 late in the 4th quarter.
Bridgman lays it in down the lane. Lloyd Walton turned around right in front of us with a big smile on his face, looking up like, boy, we can do no wrong. English rebound. Bridgman, 22 points as Bridgman gets it on.
Bridgman has not been in the game that long. He's scored the last 4 hoops in a row. All of them come in close. He's a great offensive player, but it's really too easy right now, and everything is going their way for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Bridgman had a streak like that back early in the 2nd quarter, and another one here has him up over the 20-point mark.
Of course, when he had his streak earlier, the game meant something for them. The game was close. Now it is really out of hand, and the Nuggets are just trying to finish the game.
Lloyd Walton picks up the Milwaukee foul. Mac Calvin on the line. This crowd is on its feet with 50 seconds remaining and enjoying every single second of this game. 141 to 107. Remember, NBA basketball playoff action on CBS continues next Friday night, 11:30 Eastern Time. And then, of course, next Sunday afternoon, a full slate of playoff action for you. Walton trying to sail it in to Alex English, but English fell going toward the basket. Denver ball.
Actually got held, but the game is out of hand. It's only 38 seconds to go. I don't think that the Nuggets are going to get any whistles blown against them this late.
Ralph Simpson. 141 to 110, and Larry Brown's flu is really going to have him down after this game, I think. Kent Benson can't do it. Lagarde rebounding, the two #1 rookies against each other. Calvin to Ellis, that's good. 141 to 112, and I think our MVP choice is a pretty easy one today, Steve Jones.
No question about it. Marcus Johnson did it all for them today. He was 14 of 17 from the field. He scored a lot of baskets, scored easy. Goodman just missed that stop.
36 points for Marcus Johnson. There's Kent Benson. Well, that's it. 143 to 112. The Milwaukee Bucks back in this series, and they now trail 2-1 after dropping 2 in Denver. They came home with a vengeance here today. 143 to 112. The Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award goes to Marcus Johnson, and the Chevrolet $1,000 scholarship will be awarded to UCLA on behalf of Marcus Johnson. And so that's the story here, 143 to 112 Milwaukee right now. Let's go to Brent Musburger in Seattle.
Welcome now the Milwaukee-Denver crowd. Seattle about to take a series lead of 2-1 on the world champion Portland Trail Blazers. We have 1:18 left. It is 95 to 78. Joe Hassett has come in for the first time in this series as Lenny Wilkins now goes to a little of the four corners attack. And Rick Barry, why don't you go over again for the crowd that's joined us some of the differences here?
Well, the difference has been, Brent, the fact that Seattle was able to play their type of basketball early in the third quarter and early in the fourth quarter as Twardzik drives in, and that's been the story all afternoon long. They have not been able to capitalize on those easy shots as Owens hustles to get one back in. And Portland was coming down, weren't executing their offense. They didn't move the ball. They took quick shots. They were missing. Marvin Webster got everything off the boards. They got it up the floor quickly and had 2 spurts to turn the game around.
Owens with the foul, and of course he's filled in for Bill Walton today, and there's Gus Williams.
He has been sitting on the bench with 5 fouls, and he had a fine game up until that point. Seattle is going to be very difficult to beat in the game Wednesday night, Brent. Their confidence has certainly soared in this basketball game after the second half letdown they had back in Portland. A lot of credit to the Portland team for that effort, and they're going to have to come up with a 48-minute effort like they did for 24 minutes the other night if they expect to win on Wednesday.
Well, they focused the spotlight over there on the Sonics bench. Brown at the free throw line, and Rick with Milwaukee winning. They've climbed back into it. They trail Denver now 2-1. Next game will be in Milwaukee. The Knicks eliminated today, and Washington goes up 3-1 on San Antonio. And time ticking away on the champions with Gus Williams coming in as a ball handler just to wrap it up.
And the only reason Gus is coming in the game, it shows you Lenny Wilkins wanted to give Freddie Brown a chance to get a hand from the hometown fans for the fine game he played here in the second half.
Now Fleming seeing some of his first action. And Owens drawing Seals into a foul. Rick, we might as well go ahead and make it official now that the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award will go to Marvin Webster of the Seattle Supersonics, and I think Rick Barry has told you all the reasons why. He was devastating rebounding in both halves. And so the Chevrolet $1,000 scholarship is going to be awarded to Morgan State on behalf of Marvin Webster. We talk a lot about Lenny Wilkins wanting so badly to beat Portland as UCR MVP, Marvin Webster. Well, Marvin Webster is looking forward to a possible shot at Denver. Remember, Denver traded Marvin to Seattle. for this season. Here's Joe Hassett, Providence. Seals and Wally Walker. So it's bench time, and it's 99-82. The Sonics hold the Blazers to 84 points. Game is over in the final score. Seattle 99 and Portland 84, and the Sonics leading the series 2-1.
Welcome back to the Milwaukee Arena, where the Bucks have defeated the Nuggets 143-112, and now trailing the series 2-1. Right now, let's go to Steve Jones with our MVP.
Well, we're down here with Marcus Johnson. We're surrounded by all the Milwaukee hopefuls. They're very happy. Marcus, did you think it would be this easy this afternoon after losing so big on Friday night?
No, I didn't, especially after Friday and then Tuesday night. You know, Denver gave us a very hard time. They had us down by 30 a couple of times in that ball game, and you know, it just turned into a raggedy ball game. We got within 16, but for the most part, they blew us out of that game, and I really thought this would be a lot tougher game. It was pretty tough the first 2.5 quarters or so, but then we came in the third quarter and fourth quarter, and a lot of things fell for us, and you know, we blew them out.
You had a big game offensively yourself. Friday night, you did not get a chance to shoot the ball as much as you did today, and of course, the shots weren't coming as easily.
Right.
Did you go out this afternoon with the idea of getting offensively involved in the game?
Right, definitely. I think we tried to get a lot more movement. What we tried to do in Denver, what we didn't try to do, it wasn't our game plan, but what we fell into in Denver was trying to walk the ball up the court and trying to force it in against their set defense, and Denver has one of the best set defenses to try and work against in the league. So what we did today was just try and run the ball up and just get opportunity shots and create our own shots. A lot of the shots that I got today weren't off of set plays, but just going one-on-one and taking advantage of situations that I saw.
Well, you guys came out. It looked like the defensive pressure was a lot better for you as a team this afternoon, and you made Denver shoot tougher shots. What did Don Nelson say at the top of the game? Did he say you have to play better defense?
Exactly. Our basic game plan today was not to concentrate so much on David and Dan Nelson and David Thompson. In Denver, we tried too much to double team them, make sure that we tried to keep them under wraps and not let them go off. But we just decided in the games in Milwaukee and the games from now, we're going to go out and just try and play the other men. It wasn't David and Dan that were hurting us so much as it was Anthony Roberts coming off the bench, or not coming off the bench, but scoring 19 points, 20 points, Bo Ellis coming in and contributing. So what we were trying to do was just stop everybody else, let them get their points if they were going to get them.
All right, we want to thank you, Marcus. You had a great game this afternoon. Good luck on Tuesday afternoon. We'll go back to Tim Ryan right now.
Thank you, Steve Jones. Today's hero, Marcus Johnson of the Milwaukee Bucks, who defeated the Nuggets 143-112 and now trail 2-1 in this Western semifinal.
You know what you could do with Mobil 1? You can now drive from New York to Los Angeles without an oil change. And back. And back again. And back. And back again. And back. And back again. And back. 25,000 miles. 25,000 miles without an oil change. That's what you can do with Mobil 1.
It's a fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet to you. A fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
We saw you coming, America, and here we are with a new mid-size Malibu wagon designed to carry you well into the years ahead. With mileage estimates no other mid-size six-cylinder wagon can top, with all kinds of room inside, plus a smart new look that's not going to go unnoticed.
A fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
At your Chevrolet wagon stop now.
Well, Marcus Johnson with 35 led all the scorers. Junior Bridgman had 22, Brian Winters 20 for the winning Milwaukee Bucks. Bobby Wilkerson, David Thompson, and Dan Issel all had 16 for Denver in the losing cause. And remember, next Friday night, more NBA playoff championship action here on CBS 11:30 Eastern Time. And of course, on Sunday afternoon, we'll be back with more at 1:30 Eastern Time. And next Saturday, the CBS Sports Spectacular with 3 exciting events at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Tim Ryan for Steve Jones saying so long from Milwaukee. The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.
The Ewing women become the targets of a man who thinks he's been two-timed. In tonight's thrilling edition of Dallas, the torrid new Sunday night hit at 10 o'clock, 9